All right, today we are diving deep into a part of your brain you've probably never heard of, but one that you absolutely couldn't live without. It's a master multitasker, a vital connector, and you know what? It might just be the real power behind the throne inside your head. So let's just jump right in with a really cool idea. I want you to imagine for a second that your brain isn't just, well, a brain. Picture it as a bustling corporate office. You've got a CEO, right? A safety officer for emergencies, and then, maybe most importantly, you have this incredibly powerful secretary who's the gatekeeper for every single piece of information. This metaphor, this is the key to understanding one of the most fascinating parts of your mind. So who is this unsung hero running the show? It's time to meet the one in the corner office, the one who sees everything. We are talking about the Anterior Cingulate Cortex, or for short, the ACC.
Now, where is this secretary's desk exactly? Well, the ACC is positioned perfectly, smack dab in the middle of your brain. It actually wraps around the bundle of nerves connecting your left and right sides. So think about that location. It's like a strategic command post right on the border between your logical, intellectual brain and your raw, emotional brain. It's the ultimate go-between.
And here's where it gets really interesting. The ACC has this unique staff of special cells called spindle neurons. You can think of these like the brain's high-speed fiber optic cables. They zip complex information back and forth incredibly fast. And get this, they're only found in humans and our closest evolutionary relatives, the great apes. This basically suggests the ACC is a powerful, pretty recent upgrade to our cognitive hardware, one that's built for really advanced social and emotional processing.
This whole office metaphor, it comes from John Ratey's fantastic book, A User's Guide to the Brain. And here are the key players in his model. Your rational prefrontal cortex, that's the CEO. Your fear-sensing amygdala, that's the hypervigilant safety officer, always on high alert. And our ACC, yep, it's the indispensable secretary, managing every single memo that flows between them.
And wow, what a job description this secretary has. We're not just talking about typing memos here. The ACC is allocating your attention, deciding what you focus on from one second to the next. It's anticipating rewards, weighing your options for decision-making. It's that little voice that says, hey, maybe we should wait on that second piece of cake, handling your impulse control. And as if that wasn't enough, it's also regulating your mood and even keeping your blood pressure and heart rate in check. Honestly, this isn't just a secretary. This is more like a chief operating officer. Okay, so this system seems pretty solid, right? But what happens when the office workflow gets completely hijacked? Let's look at a really powerful example, the internal power struggle of addiction. We're about to see how our incredibly efficient secretary can actually be tricked into working against the company's and your best interests. So how does a craving actually happen in this office? Okay, let's walk through it. First, a request comes in, the body signaling low nicotine. Simple enough. Then, the amygdala, our safety officer, panics and sends an urgent 5-alarm fire memo. Smoke now. Now, here comes the crucial part. The ACC secretary goes to the files to pull a report, but, and this is key, it performs a biased search. It only pulls up the happy memories of smoking. It's a real thing, it's called euphoric recall. It's like a mental filter that conveniently forgets all the bad stuff. Then, the ACC actually adds its own hit of dopamine to the memo, basically slapping a giant red, urgent and important sticker on it. By the time this thing hits the CEO's desk, it's so juiced up with dopamine, so persuasive, that the prefrontal cortex just signs off. Action authorized. And this just shows the deception perfectly. On the one hand, you have euphoric recall telling you, smoking is cool, it'll bring satisfaction. But what's the actual reality? More often than not, it's standing out in the cold, getting wet, and feeling not some great pleasure, but just a brief pause from the discomfort of withdrawal. The secretary's filing system has been corrupted to hide all the negative reports. Now I know, this might sound like a completely rigged system, but here's the good news. It's not a done deal. The office isn't doomed. Why? Because the CEO always has the final say. You can actually step in, retrain your secretary, and completely rewrite the company policy. So let's look at the new office policy. Okay, step 1, the urge arrives. But this time, step 2, the boss, and that's you, intervenes. You consciously tell yourself the truth. One cigarette is never, ever enough. And what that does is it reframes the entire request. You're now forcing the association of that urge with the cold, the wet, the discomfort, not the fake pleasure. And over time, your secretary, the ACC, it learns. It starts denying the request on site before it even bothers to search those corrupt old files. And eventually, the memo gets deleted before it even makes it to your conscious awareness. The urge just disappears. And that, right there, is the most powerful takeaway from all of this. See, it's really easy for the brain to just run on autopilot, to let the secretary follow old, outdated procedures. But you are not just a passenger in your own head. You are the CEO. You have the authority to step in, take back command, and set brand new priorities.
So how do you become a more effective CEO? Well, one of the most powerful tools out there is mindfulness training. Think of it like a professional development course for your entire executive team. The research is clear on this. It's not just some wellness fad. It measurably increases activity in the ACC, and that in turn improves your self-regulation. It boasts your ability to ignore those distracting urges and notifications, and it just builds your overall resilience. It's a fundamental upgrade for your entire internal office.
So upgrading our internal office is incredibly powerful. But to really appreciate what we're working with here, we need to look beyond the job title. The secretary metaphor has been super helpful, right? But it's time we acknowledge that the ACC's real job description is, well, it's massive. It has responsibilities that go way beyond what we've talked about so far.
So what are some of these hidden talents? Okay, for starters, the ACC is your brain's emotional pain center. When you stub your toe, the physical sensation is one thing, but that ow feeling, the actual suffering, that's your ACC. And what's absolutely amazing is that it processes the pain of social rejection in the exact same way. That's why a breakup can literally feel like a physical injury. It's also your brain's internal quality control, constantly checking your actions and flagging errors so you can learn from your mistakes. It's what helps you read a room, connecting a friend's smile to the feeling of happiness. It's even a key player in the gut-brain axis, linking your gut feelings to your conscious thoughts. When you add it all up, the ACC isn't just a secretary. It's your brain's social and emotional barometer, constantly measuring your inner state and your connection to the world around you.
And this really drives home just how critical this one region is. If the ACC is damaged, the consequences can be devastating. We see things like a profound lack of empathy, deeply flawed decision-making, a total breakdown in self-regulation. Our brain's so-called secretary is truly indispensable to who we are as people.
So we'll leave you with this thought. You've now been properly introduced to the powerful, complex, and absolutely vital manager running the show inside your head. You know how it works, you know how it can be tricked, and most importantly, you know how you can retrain it. So the only question left is, as the CEO of your brain, what new memos will you be sending?